Hello and welcome to Geek-lish, the language of geek culture. I am your host, Tim Aguiar, and joining me, presiding in the court of geek culture, is Judge Heidi Burbo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I'm not actually a judge, just for a legal note.
We don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
She's not a real judge. It's baloney. That's
right. And if you want to find more on the Geek-lish podcast, you can reach us at our website at www.geek-lish.com. At Facebook, we have a group there, geek-lish.com, and we are on Twitter. And our handle is at geek_lish.com. It's not .com, though.
No.
Nope, no .coms. I just went on a rampage of .coms. It's just at geek_lish.
Yeah, on their Twitter, yeah.
All right. Let's go. What's up, Tim?
Well, there's a lot of lawsuits happening.
Speaking of law,
we don't want to get sued, but I'll tell you who else doesn't want to get sued. Bethesda. But guess what?
Yeah.
They're getting sued.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about them. Did you hear about their alcohol? Did you hear about the alcohol?
The Nuka Dark rum.
Yeah.
And it's baffling what's happening with that.
The bottle looked wicked cool until they showed how it was being made, and it's in like a plastic.
They were taking pre-orders before anybody knew anything about it. It was just, hey, here's a bottle.
It's like $80 or something like that.
It's like it's $80 for a dark rum, which whatever. But like the bottle looks super cool, and people were assuming it was going to be made of glass, because they've done this before with soda, where they've made Nuka-Cola bottles and they were selling them at Target, and they were glass bottles. They were cool collectible glass bottles. So the assumption was, they're going to do it again, with dark rum, because the bottle looked black and opaque, and there are bottles of alcohol that are black and opaque, and you can't see through it, and it's a matte black, and it looks super cool. So people saw the picture of it, and that's what everybody assumed. And they were taking pre-orders, and then they showed a behind-the-scenes video showing how it got made, and
it's just a case.
It's a plastic case, and it opens up, and inside of it is just a plain glass bottle that says Nuka Dark Rum on it, and it's so disappointing. I mean, it's a cool collectible, but not for $80.
No.
You know what I mean? It's huge. It's because a full bottle of alcohol has to fit inside of it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like seeing it open, it looks so cheap.
Yeah, it does. I saw it when I were watching the video about it.
It looks so cheap. And on the website, they're so proud of this thing that they made. And it's so funny because just a snippet of what they said on the website of I think it was the Bethesda website, the rum company. They said, regarding our product, the COO, sommelier, and product specialist of Silver Screen Bottling Company, Ryan McElveen. Sorry, Ryan, has written a note to our customers about the story of the intentional and complex design of the Nuka Dark Rum bottle.
It's not complex.
It's not complex. It's a fucking bottle.
Bottle.
Oh, there it goes.
There you go. Now I have to click explicit again.
Sorry.
Doggone it. Oh, well. That's just going to be the theme of our podcast.
Kids. Yeah. We're trying not to swear, but it's going to happen. And they go, the packaging of Nuka Dark Rum was a design that was months in the making. This took you months to design? Are you kidding me right now?
Without saying where we work, because we can't.
We can't, but
it took them 2 years. 2 years to design a water bottle thing. Like a water container. Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah. 2 years.
Well, these guys, it took them months. It took them several months to design this. In that case, it shows.
Yeah, it does show.
It shows that it didn't take very long. And we went to great lengths to ensure that no corners were cut. It's a lot of corners that look cut to me. It cost over 2 times what it would have if we would have simply cast a glass mold. Baloney. No way. There is no way making... There's 2 things wrong with this. Because there's no way that making this plastic thing cost more than molding a glass bottle. That doesn't make any sense to me. And if it did cost more, why did you go this route?
Yeah. So everybody could pay more?
Yeah, this doesn't make any... Hold on. Let me see if I'm reading this right. Yeah, it costs over 2 times what it would have to cast it in glass.
And people would have preferred it in glass.
People wanted it in glass.
Yeah.
Now, I could be taking that sentence could be written weird where they're trying to say that, the glass was going to cost 2 times more to mold. But, I mean...
But
it didn't take them very... It took them months to design this.
What I don't understand, though, is if you just cast a glass bottle, you wouldn't have needed the plastic. They still had to cast the plastic. The plastic has to come out of some kind of tooling,
a mold,
some kind of cast. They still had to pay for that kind of thing, and still had to buy a bottle to put inside of it.
Yeah, you still had to get glass bottles made.
So there's more material, more waste. Sorry, I'm thinking green here, people, because that's the way I think. This makes no sense to me, and nobody's happy about it.
Everybody hates it. Because it looks cheap.
Yeah, it really does, because I saw the video with Lou. But what I don't understand is it seems like Bethesda's just gone off the rails.
This is like one thing of a string of stupid decisions that Bethesda has made in the last month and a half.
How do they? Are they?
They're not. I don't know what is going on at Bethesda Studios. Nobody's thinking. Nobody's thinking of the consumer.
Who's running
That's the
that
problem.
place?
Nobody's thinking of the consumer. I think everyone is just, what's an easy cash grab?
Yeah.
And everybody loves collecting things, and I'm sure your husband would have loved to nuke a dark rum bottle in the shape.
He probably would have bought it.
Yeah, if it was glass, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that these guys go on to say we went through many prototypes, many. This is the design
you settled on.
You settled on, yeah. This was this is the one we like. Yep, that's the one we're gonna make. Yeah. In fact, they had 4 different iterations of design. 2 of which were glass exteriors. Why didn't you go there? You had the designs.
Why did they? But I don't.
And it would have cost you 2 times cheaper.
It doesn't make sense to me. Why would they put a glass exterior on a glass bottle? Just make the glass bottle.
Yeah, because I think that's what they were thinking. Why would we make a glass carrying case for a glass bottle? That doesn't make any sense. Let's just make a plastic one. But it's no, I mean, yes, that doesn't make any sense. So make the bottle glass and put the alcohol in that bottle.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I don't need a Russian doll to get to my alcohol. It's gonna take too long, and now I'm sober. And is it in this bottle? Nope, it's in this bottle. Nope, it's in this bottle. And then the bottles just get smaller and smaller. And then at the end of it, you just have a nip. Yeah. An $80 nip. And guess what? I would not be surprised if Bethesda did that.
I know.
It comes in a little bobblehead.
That's what people want, right?
Yeah, they like little things, right? They love the bobbleheads. Just put the alcohol in the bobblehead.
It's like shot glass.
Yeah, it's a little shot glass. You people are insane. What the hell? But this, on top of a horrible opening for their game.
Oh, I know.
Just bugs aplenty. And not the good kind. But oh God, it's just terrible. And the fact that they said on their site, a huge thanks to all of you who have been playing Fallout 76 and embarking on this journey with us. Millions of you are playing the game and playing it a lot. No, they're not. Not anymore. And I don't think that was true when that statement was first said.
I have not seen one video that was positive, and actually I've seen some videos that were like full-on brutal rants. One guy, I can't remember who he is, but his video was hilarious. I'll have to send it to you. And he pre-ordered the $200 to get the helmet.
Oh yeah, it comes with a helmet, a wearable helmet,
yeah,
and a quote unquote canvas bag.
Yeah, which we've talked about the canvas bag.
Which is going to be, which is where the lawsuit is stemming. But,
oh, okay. Well,
but yeah, you were saying
this guy was, and he is a lifelong, or well, however long Fallout's been around, lifelong. But he loves Fallout.
It's been out for a while because even your husband is very deeply into the Fallout lore, and it's.
Yep. And Lou said, God, it feels weird not to buy Fallout, but he said every video I watch is negative.
There's not a positive one out there. And if there is, it's they're skirting issues.
Yeah.
Because they're either sponsored by Bethesda, or they were given a copy, or they were invited to their hotel bunker gathering that they had in West Virginia, which is just weird. But, I mean, interesting, but also weird. Because it's like, oh, let's hire 30 people to come. Let's invite 30 YouTubers to come to this hotel and play our game for 3 hours or whatever. And it was like, yeah, it's a great idea. Let's spend the money on that instead of putting a good game out.
Yeah.
Like, the marketing budget was obviously through the roof, and they were like, we're hemorrhaging money here. Where can we take from? Development. Take it out of development, put it into marketing. We're fine. We're going to just put the game out. It will allow modders to fix it. Oh, no, wait, no, we won't, because then we'll start banning modders for modding the game to work, which is what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're banning people for trying to fix their game.
Which, I'm sorry, but the modders fixed it last time.
They fix all of them.
Yeah. And
every Bethesda game that comes out that allows mods, the mod community is so talented. It's such a talented pool of individuals that they're able to fix this broken game to the point that it's playable.
Yeah.
And they do it with every single Fallout that they've come out, I think except for Vegas, because Vegas was done by a different studio. But 3, 4, I think even the Oblivion games, Skyrim, they had mods, and those games were initially just buggy messes that were playable. They weren't at the level of 76. They had their issues. They were playable, but
all Bethesda's games
come out with bugs.
But this one's like a whole nother level.
Like, this is another animal of problems, and it's a dead world. The human interaction isn't really that good. It's just not. There's no fun.
One gamer I saw said, I could handle a game with bugs if it wasn't so damn boring.
Yeah.
It's just boring.
I've seen videos of people just going through and like just montages.
Yeah.
And with the YouTuber in the smaller screen at the bottom and just looking so bored at what they're doing. It's just like they're at work and they're just like scrolling through emails that they don't want to answer. It's just like, oh, there's another one from Kathy in accounting. I don't want to deal with her right now. It's just like, oh, there's another T-posing ghoul I don't want to deal with.
Let me go on.
It's so, oh my God, it's just
horrible.
so bad. It's so bad.
I saw a montage.
This is a $60 finished quote unquote finished product that this AAA game company was completely fine releasing.
Not even just completely fine, but they gloated about, at least the CEO gloated about how amazing.
Oh my God, they love their game.
Yeah.
Their game is such a success to them because people bought it. And oh my God, it's just so bad. It's such a disaster. And especially coming off of E3, where, like, I saw 76. I wasn't all that excited for it because I knew it was going to be online, and I don't really care for that kind of online interaction. But they introduced a new Oblivion game to that world. So that was a new Elder Scrolls. I'm sorry, not Oblivion. A new Elder Scrolls game. and they introduced a new game that was going to be in space and all this stuff. So those were exciting. Now I am so afraid to see what those are going to look like. They need such an overhaul to even get in good graces.
Their leadership is lost because
completely.
If you make one bad decision, okay, so the canvas bag, for instance, okay, but then they don't even try to redeem themselves. But then to make constant mistakes and not listening to the people that are wanting to play this game, that love this whole series.
Yeah.
And not listen to them at all, and just to make worse and worse decisions is really
it's disheartening.
Yeah. You have gamers that are making videos after video after video, and it's not just little, young kids that are just getting on and playing. These are like tenured gamers that are very familiar to and with Bethesda, that you would think Bethesda would look at and go, holy crap, we have a problem. There's nobody pulling the string going, holy crap, stop the train, we have a problem.
Right. It was the same thing that we talked about in the last issue with Blizzard and Diablo and a tenured YouTuber who only plays Diablo or is well known for playing Diablo to go up and be like, is this a mistake?
Yeah. Is this an April Fool's
joke? Because this seems weird. It's the same situation where YouTubers who are well known for playing Fallout games are looking at this and going, what happened? Like, we were all so excited for this, and then you come out and release garbage, and it's such a shame.
And it keeps going.
Yeah, and this was the first. This is where the nefariousness comes in.
There's the word.
This was the first time they weren't working with Steam to release their game. And Steam
you told me about Steam.
Yeah, Steam. For anybody who doesn't know, Steam is it's an online service where you buy from a third party, which is Steam, which is owned by Valve. And through this third party, you're still buying these games, but Steam offers a return. They have a return policy, whether it's a couple of days or so many hours of playing, and you can return it at a full refund, whatever game it is. This was the first time Bethesda didn't go through Steam.
That just seems so shady.
That's such a red flag, right there. It's like, oh, they're not going through Steam. That's strange. Let me play this game. Oh my god, it's garbage. I need my money back. Oh, we're not doing refunds. They were refusing to do refunds. People lost their minds. There was a video of I'm sure everybody's already seen this, but there's a video of this guy who went into a GameStop to try to return his game, and they were like, yeah, we're not, it's GameStop, so they offered him like $10 or whatever. He wasn't getting full price back, and being a gamer, you should know that GameStop's not going to give you a full refund unless there's certain circumstances. But yeah, he wasn't getting his full refund, and he trashed the game. He was pushing over shelving units, and he absolutely just destroyed the place. Walking out, it was just like nothing's bolted to the floor.
Okay,
they're all easily moved, but yeah, he's shoving things over. Which is
that upset over a video game? You need.
Oh yeah,
sorry, but I know this is Geek-lish, but grow the hell up. Okay?
It was a dick move.
Yeah,
on his end. But
I understand the frustration.
The frustration, but like
execution was bad.
Yeah, bad dismount.
Yeah,
you're getting a 0 from the Russian judge. You're not. You're not winning the gold on this one, pal. But it just shows how aggravated people are at this.
Yeah.
And it's like people who aren't even YouTubers, who don't have anyone to listen to them online. They're aggravated. They're just as aggravated. And we keep talking about this canvas bag
because it keeps
coming out. It keeps coming back around. But this is where their lawsuit is. This is where they're getting sued.
They're actually getting sued over the canvas bag.
Well, it's not. See, it's not because it's a canvas bag. I hate Dragon Bag. Dragon Bag. Sorry. I lost track. Oh, it's not the bag. It's false advertising.
Oh, yeah.
Because they advertise for this canvas bag. And people from the same $200 special edition, you're getting this helmet that is wearable. Mm-hmm. and you're getting this canvas bag and a couple of other things. And the canvas bag, you pay $200, you get this crappy game, and you're like, well, at least the swag is cool. And you open up your bag, and it's not made of canvas. It's made of shitty nylon. It's
like a bag that you get, like a reusable grocery store bag.
I don't know, because those are made of canvas, so those are better. So they're not even getting that.
Not all of them are, though. Some of them are kind of...
Yeah, some of those are, the kind of cheap nylon.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what they sent out. Wow. Yeah, and the problem was that they were sending it out, and on their website, on Amazon, on, the GameStop.com, on their websites, every website where you can buy and pre-order this $200 special edition, they're still selling it as a canvas bag.
Oh.
So it's like you were told by customers that I didn't get a canvas bag, I got a nylon bag. What's happening? Yeah. And their excuse was due to the availability of materials, we had to switch to a nylon carrying case. That's not my problem.
No.
You should have known by when you ordered the material that you didn't have enough for it.
Yeah, you could have said special edition so many, but you can't still sell it as a canvas bag on the site right now.
Even
and not send people a canvas bag.
Right. And even on Twitter, somebody had comment, one of the devs at Fallout. We understand and respect that there is disappointment with the bag in the Power Armor edition. We are sorry. Please contact Bethesda support to provide proof of your CE purchase. They will assist in granting your account 500 atoms. So you're not... Here's the kicker on this thing. You're not getting a full discount, which is... you're not getting your $200 back. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So you're going to get 500 atoms. Now, the atoms are in-game money for Fallout 76, because there's a marketplace... And here's where they get their money. This is where the nefarity comes in. They're so nefarious. There's an online store for color scheme for power armor or new suits and all this stuff, cosmetics and
have you seen how much they're charging for that?
Yeah, they're charging a lot. And so
for a hairstyle, you pay $5. Bite me.
Yeah, $5. The 500 atoms, for anybody who doesn't know, that sounds like a lot. 500 atoms.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot. It's $5. I'm sorry you didn't get the bag that we were selling and that we kind of promised, and you got a cheaper version. I know you want a refund, but here's $5. And here's the kick in the ass, is that the $5 isn't even enough to buy most things on the store.
Everything $5.99?
No, most things on the store were like 700 atoms.
Oh.
So here's $5. I know it's not enough to buy that cool power armor color scheme, but just play a little longer and earn those atoms, and then you'll eventually get that set. I hate to say it again. It's really this is nefarious. You can't do that. You can't just go, we're sorry that, unforeseen circumstances with the material. We're sorry that you didn't get the bag you were promised. Here's 500 atoms. This isn't enough for me to buy stuff on your store. No, yeah, we know. Just play the game that you're already playing, and eventually you'll get those atoms and the difference, and you can buy that crappy new suit you want to get that doesn't really do anything for you. It's crazy. That's a bad business practice.
Yeah, and it's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face to a smack in the face.
Yeah.
It's the same thing to the same thing is what I'm saying. Like, you gave us a crappy bag, and now you're giving us crappy money that's not enough to buy crappy overpriced shit on your store. Yeah.
And here's if you did actually contact customer support for whatever, this is what they'll tell you. Hello, we are sorry that you are not happy with the bag. The bag shown in the media was a prototype and was too expensive to make. We aren't planning on doing anything about it. This is what customer support is telling people when they contact and go, I didn't get the right bag. Yeah, we know. We're not going to do anything about it. This is the perfect way to lose fan base. So, yeah, and speaking of losing customers, have you heard of what Battlefield 5 is doing? Or DICE, EA? Again, EA. Another, it's like the top 3 of like just the worst of the worst.
I've heard
the nefarious of the nefarious.
I've heard something with Battlefield, but I don't know what all the details.
Yeah, so let me give you some background. Initially, Battlefield 5 was coming out. They showed a really cool-looking trailer. And this is touted as a World War II historically accurate first-person shooter.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And now I'm going to punctuate historically accurate.
That's how they're selling it.
That's how they're selling it. This is historically accurate.
Okay.
Now, in the trailer, it highlights this woman with a prosthetic arm fighting on the front lines. I'm not a historian, but I don't believe that ever happened.
No, not in World War II.
Not in World War II.
No.
And this is a World War II historically accurate shooter.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
not
that
on the
wasn't
front
that
lines.
wasn't not on the front line. There were I'm gonna mention these later, but there were pockets of resistance skirmishes where women did fight in World War II. They shot people and they defended their countries and they did what they had to do. But they weren't frontline fighters. They certainly didn't have prosthetic arms running around on a battlefield. You weren't allowed on the battlefield if you had a prosthetic limb.
Yeah.
I don't believe they were. I mean, if there was a man that had a prosthetic limb, he hit it and he made sure nobody fucking saw it. But yeah, so the problem that people are having, the game came out, it's not really any good, which is just another ding to EA that the game is just not great. But people are upset because EA had released they had a release party at their studio, and they released a banner that pretty much said #everyone's Battlefield, and they had little quotes from quote unquote haters on their Twitter, little quotes like white men, EA ruins everything, feminazis are trying to rewrite history, gender field 5, toxic stuff like that. And a lot of that's just toxicity, and it's just none of it's great. And
what? Come at me with something intelligent. Not
a lot of that stuff is
feminazi. Shut up.
A lot of that stuff is just stupid.
Idiot.
But EA, the DICE, they put this banner up during their Christmas party, and they were kind of joking. They were kind of poking fun at it, and then, which is great. But then taking a picture of it, posting it on your Twitter, it's not a great move.
No.
Because now you're inciting.
Yeah.
I don't want to say you're inciting, but you're inviting people to come at you and hate on you more.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. People are very upset with what's happening.
Say.
Yeah. But now some of the arguments I've been hearing it's toxic stuff. Women were in World War II, which is not true. They were. And the feminazi stuff. But there are intelligent arguments for the fact that they're selling this as historically accurate, and
which it's not.
Right. And that's what the intelligent arguments are. I should say is that this isn't historically accurate. You're selling it as historically accurate, and you're telling me that a woman wearing war paint, having a prosthetic arm on the front lines, that didn't happen. That didn't happen in any war that I know of. Like those are like things that you're taking from different wars and putting them into one person, going, here's our spokesperson. And the woman in question is on the cover of the game, which is another thing we're upset about. Now, in my opinion on this is that if you're going to tout this as historically accurate, do historically accurate.
Yeah.
If you were going to say this is an alternate history game, or this is just a World War II era type game, then this woman doesn't bother me. It would be an interesting story and I would enjoy playing it. But when you tell me this is a historically accurate shooter, no, it's not. This is where I have to call it bullshit, because it isn't.
Here's my problem with it. Women have a history that we need to remember. We fought really hard to get where we are today. We still have a long way to go, but we fought really hard to get where we are today. And to try to twist the history to say that it was something else, that it wasn't a historically accurate single shooter, first shooter, whatever the hell it is. It is kind of insulting to women's history, because women weren't fighting on the battlefield on the line. No. I mean, you had nurses, triage, nurses and things like that, but you didn't have you didn't have a woman in war paint, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Native American
the code talkers.
Yes, they didn't even wear.
They weren't wearing war paint either.
Yeah.
And they're Native American.
Yeah. So I don't know
if
where
they're not wearing war paint, why is this white British lady wearing war paint?
I don't even get, where does that even come from?
I don't even know.
Why would they even put that in there?
I know. It was like blue, like, you know.
And a prosthetic arm? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it had the little, like, the metal hooks.
Yeah,
and
no.
It was a cool looking arm. I mean, like, the arm was historically accurate. Yeah, that's the only thing that was historically accurate was that, that's a prosthetic arm that existed during that time.
I mean, if they...
Otherwise, none of this is right.
If they could say, this woman is a representation of this and this and this woman that did these things, but they didn't. Right. It's like nothing. They just pulled it out of their ass.
Because, like you said, there were, like I said, there were women that fought in World War II. There was, here's just two of them. There was a group called the Night Witches, which were female fighter pilots. Female-only fighter pilots. They're 588th is what they were. The Night Bomber Regiment, 23,000 tons of bombs they dropped.
Holy crap.
And they were Soviet Air Force pilots. They dropped 23,000 tons of bombs on the enemy.
Wow.
That
could be a video game.
Put them in a video game? You want historically accurate and you want women in your video game? That's a segment in your video game.
Yeah, find an actually historical, you know.
Here's another one. I'm going to butcher this name. Lyudmila Pavlichenko was a Soviet sniper. The Soviets were awesome. I'm just going to put that out there now. She killed 309 Nazis.
Oh, wow.
Credited. 309 credited Nazi kills in World War II. Where's her game?
Yeah.
You want female representation in World War II, and you want historically accurate? Here are your people, the Night Witches and Pavlichenko.
Yeah, I mean,
here are your characters.
Yeah.
Here are the people that should be on your cover.
Why'd you have to make up
not a
British
fictional woman
with war paint and a prosthetic arm?
Yeah.
Like, where did that even?
It's so stupid. It's such a because like if the devs at DICE would have done as much research as they did to get the weapons right and the tanks right and the uniforms right, if they would have done actual history. It took me all of 5 seconds to Google women in World War II, and these two situations popped up. It took me 5 seconds to Google it. I didn't have special historians coming into my office going, well, you know, these are the uniforms, and these is what these are what these symbols signified, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I Googled women in World War II, and I got this awesome sniper that killed over 300 Nazis, and these fighter pilot awesome ladies who dropped 23,000 tons of explosives. Why aren't they in this game?
Yeah.
That's historically accurate.
Yeah, you're right. If they wouldn't have sold it as a historically accurate, then they wouldn't be having a problem.
They wouldn't be having a problem.
Are they getting sued? Or are they?
No, they're not getting sued. No, people are just upset because Bethesda, I'm sorry. EA keeps, because it's just rolls off the tongue. Yeah. EA, they're poking the bear. That's the problem. Is that they're just poking the bear because the Robert Patrick Sutherland, he's the EA executive who he tweeted this as a defense to this whole situation. He said, "We felt like in today's world, I have a 13-year-old daughter that when the trailer came out and she saw all the flack, she asked me, 'Dad, why is this happening?' She plays Fortnite and says, 'I can be a girl in Fortnite. Why are people so upset about this?' She looked up at me and she couldn't understand it. And I'm like, okay, as a parent, how the hell am I going to respond to this?" And I just said, you know what? You're right. That is not okay. You know what? You're right. That is not okay. But when you're making a historically accurate game, you go, I'm sorry, honey, we're making a historically accurate game, and women didn't really fight in the front lines.
Yeah, that's a moment. He could have said he could have said to her, you know, women didn't have all of the opportunities they do today because of different women through history that have helped get them there. This could have been a moment where he lifted her up to understand the background and the shoulders she's standing on as a young woman. No, he didn't do that. What he did is what I hate. It's all these people that overcompensate for something. It's like, oh, women haven't been in stuff, so we need to put them in every single thing that doesn't make sense. No, that's not what we want. Equal is equal, not more or less.
Right, and it's, I mean, not to speak as a woman, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of insulting insulting.
It is insulting.
To be like, here's a situation where they didn't shine.
Yeah.
Let's make them shine.
Yeah, I don't want to get a job because I'm a woman.
Right.
I want to get a job because of my abilities.
Right.
And this is just giving women a job because she's a woman.
Yeah.
You just put her in the game because it's not fair that she wasn't in history. Well, then don't sell it as historically accurate. And you're lying to your kid. Good job.
Yeah. Like you said, this was a perfect teaching moment.
Yeah.
To teach this child, this 13-year-old child, that his history has taught us that stuff's not fair. And I'm sorry, but the reason why these people are angry is because Daddy made a mistake and he sold this game as historically accurate.
Yeah.
I should have said, his alternate history. And then all these guys would have been fine, and then you would have been happy or whatever. But instead, he's coddling her and going, you know what, you're right. You should be in every single video game. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should be... The game, one of the games I played in 2018, Horizon Zero Dawn, the main protagonist was Aloy, a woman. And nothing felt shoehorned.
Yeah.
She was a badass warrior that could, take on these giant robotic dinosaurs on her own. And it was awesome playing as this woman and just being, hating the people who hated you because you're an outcast and going like, this is a badass lady I'm playing as. Nothing felt weird. Nothing felt shoehorned. I didn't, throughout the game, I wasn't like, oh, I should be playing a dude here. I never had that moment at all. I just enjoyed the hell out of the game. It had beautiful scenery. She was such a well-written character, and I loved playing as her.
Yeah.
This
is shoehorned.
Feels so shoehorned.
It's the same as having a 1940s, 1950s game, submarine game, and then putting a couple women on the submarine.
Putting a female captain on the submarine. The first ever female captain of the submarine. No.
That was not a thing back then.
I'm sorry. Women didn't serve on submarines.
No.
For a long time.
They didn't serve on battleships for a long time.
For a long time.
So, I remember when I was thinking about going to the Navy, that was time ago. And it was just, I think they said they just started having more women's quarters on actual ships.
Yeah.
And that's probably 20 years.
But that's 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's not...
You're telling me in 1940-something, a woman was on the front lines? I don't want this to come off like, a woman should be fighting. A woman can't fight on the front lines.
No, I don't think
a woman didn't fight on the front lines during World War II.
That's the whole point.
Right.
It's not a matter of should it have been or could, should, would, or whatever. It's more of this is what his was. And in order to keep it to be a historically accurate game, you need to follow with history, and history didn't have women on the front lines as a historically accurate game.
Right.
They should have sold it as a alternative history version.
Right. There's plenty of games like that work.
Yeah.
The new Wolfenstein, the New Order, or whatever game just came out. It's such an over-the-top World War II, just Nazi killing game that there's robot dogs and like stupid shit like that. But it's historically alternative.
Yeah.
So
people buy it.
It's not accurate.
Yeah, people buy it because it's alternative.
Because it's alternative. It's goofy. It's so over the top, and people enjoy those types of things. I'm not saying you had to make it over the top, but just sell it. Don't sell it as historically accurate.
No.
And I don't think you probably still would have gotten people, the toxic people, but
because they have to complain. If they don't, they might die.
But the majority of people, I believe, would have been completely fine with having this woman in this game.
Logical people that would have looked at it and said, "Oh, this is just like like that game." There's so many games that are not set in quote unquote reality.
Right.
Like the one that you played with the girl that with the mechanical dinosaurs.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah,
that's not real.
No.
But you don't see people going, "Well, dinosaurs didn't look like that. They didn't move like that. They didn't do that." No, because nobody knows, they weren't there. But also, it's a video game of an alternative universe, an alternative time.
Right.
And if they would have sold it as that, they wouldn't have the problems they have now.
And the other problem is that Sutherland keeps going that these are people who are uneducated. They don't understand that this is a plausible scenario. First off, calling the fan base uneducated is not a great...
No, not for the CEO. Now, I can say it.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine saying it, but
not for this.
I'm also not trying to sell this
Yeah, I know.
to the majority of public. This guy is. So in this interview, why would you say that?
Because...
And then to say that, they don't understand that it's a plausible scenario. No, it's not.
Okay, but here's the thing. Plausible scenario and historically accurate do not go hand in hand.
Those are exclusively two different things.
Yeah, you can't say plausible. No, it wasn't. There's no British woman who's going to put war paint on and having a prosthetic arm on the front lines in World War II. That's not even remotely plausible. That would not have happened.
Right.
Maybe with the prosthetic arm, a man, and he wouldn't know war paint.
Yeah, I mean, he goes on to say similar situations, like similar stuff like that. But I mean, because now that the game's out, the people are hating it. It's down, the sales are down 50%, probably more by now, but 50% from like the opening weekend. It's not good.
You know when games keep dropping like that, because 76 dropped down to like $35.
Oh yeah, they're on a huge sale.
And it's probably even less than now. I don't know. The last time I saw it was 35. When the company drops the price so much right after the release, but doesn't try to fix anything and keeps making mistakes, they know there's a problem.
Oh, of course they do.
They just are in complete denial about it.
They just want their money grabbed. And also, one of a stupid situation that was happening was on the because there's online play as well in Battlefield 5, an arena mode and all that stuff.
Oh.
And on there, there's microphones and whatnot, and the reason why one of the hashtags was white men was because the words white men and the word Nazis were muted. So if you tried to type it in, it would not show up.
So
yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
This is another. Yeah, this is.
We're gonna go kill those.
Yeah, this is World War II. They're called Nazis,
and they were white.
And they were white men.
So that's historically accurate.
So the historically accurate parts you're removing,
yeah,
and in exchange to non-historically accurate. Good planning. Good job, guys. I wonder why our game is failing. Don't write shitty tweets.
Yeah, and don't sell it as something that it's not.
Yeah, because I think if they wouldn't have, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, I think that's.
It would have been a blip. It would have been just look at these idiots complaining that a female person.
Yeah.
There's a woman fighting in a game. It's a video game. This isn't historically accurate.
Yeah.
The second you say historically accurate, that defense is out the window.
Yeah.
Because now you can say it.
And now the haters can hate.
Yeah, and now they're almost justified, which kind of grosses me out.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No.
But not all news is bad news on today's podcast. I actually got some very good, kind of heartwarming news. The creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg, had died.
Right. Yeah.
In I believe in December. I'm sorry, November 26th, 2018. My bad. He died of Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh wow.
He was 57 years old. He died.
Oh.
It's Lou Gehrig's disease takes so many. And I sound like I'm to PSA now. The price of a coffee. We can help cure this disease. Sorry.
This just went dark to.
I know. I'm so sorry. I just somebody died. Let's make fun of it. No, that's but people who love the show who are adults, because there's a lot of them.
I know,
and because it's one of those shows that because sometimes my son Oliver watches it, and I'll watch it with him because it's like some of these jokes are actually pretty funny. But there's a petition going around to have the song "Sweet Victory." It was a song that was played in the SpongeBob, one of the episodes, and you can go YouTube "Sweet Victory" SpongeBob, and you'll watch the scene. And it's actually really nice. It's a cool victory, we're winners kind of song. It's very short. It's like a minute, 2 minutes long. And there's a petition for that song, "Sweet Victory," to be played during halftime show of the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
So they want that song to be played during the halftime show.
Okay.
Which it's a 2-minute song, whatever. The petition has over 1 million signatures.
Are you serious?
Like 1,081,000 some odd. And it's still going. People are still signing. I signed it.
I was going to say, did you sign it?
Oh, I signed it. I was like, this would be great. Because it was a few years ago, there was a petition for Weird Al to play at the...
oh my God.
And I was like, yes, why hasn't he been doing it? We get, the last few Super Bowls have had the worst halftime shows. Just boring, and
I don't watch those.
It's not entertaining.
I don't watch.
Not many people watch the halftime shows.
I don't watch football. Period.
I like the commercials. And even the commercials are kind of diminishing.
I will tell you, I had to watch them the year before last. I think it was because in a marketing class that I was taking.
Oh yeah.
We were doing something on the halftime, so I had to watch all of them.
I mean, they're
I went on YouTube because I wasn't going to watch. Oh
yeah, that's the other thing too, is that I can just bypass my Sunday and just on Monday watch 20 to 30 minutes of just commercials. Like, oh, here are all the commercials from this year's Super Bowl. But yeah, there was this petition for Weird Al, and that one only got 129,000 signatures.
Jeez.
And Weird Al is, he's a national treasure. Okay? Fight me. He is a national treasure. I will get aggressive on this. I love Weird Al. And the second I saw the petition, I was like, yeah, he's signing it. That guy should definitely do Super Bowl. Didn't do it. The NFL, they have such a stick up their ass. Well, we have to have respectable bullshit. And this thing's at 1 million.
Started on the NFL.
I know. They have such bigger problems.
Yeah, I know, right?
Than having
Weird Al.
Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah. Or this 2-minute song from a cartoon play during their precious halftime show for their pigskin game. Like, give me a break. So this thing's at 1 million. It's over 1 million. And it's awesome, but it's such a fool's errand because nothing's going to come from it.
Really?
I guarantee it. I mean, just because you signed a petition doesn't mean it's going to go into law.
No, I know, but I would hope that petitions have an effect on the outcome of a decision.
I would like to believe that as well, but there is so many, like something like this. I think like important ones do. This is for like a song at a halftime show.
Yeah.
Not really that important.
Maybe not that important. Okay.
But even then, it's like, it's a song at a halftime show. You'd think that if anything would actually come into fruition from a petition, it'd be this.
Right, yeah.
But it's because the NFL is such tight asses about stuff like this that it's not. Sadly, I don't believe it's going to happen.
Well, it's nice that people have come together
have completely backed this and are like 100%
that's pretty cool.
Like, this needs to happen. I would love for it to happen. Yeah. That would be so great. But I think it's just going to be another boring 4.5 hours of football. I think that's how long it is. I don't know.
It's
too long.
It feels like an entire
It's a very long time. I am not a sports fan, obviously. I don't know if you gathered that. I don't like the sports.
No, it feels like an entire day. Lou doesn't really even watch football anymore.
No, well, he doesn't watch it for personal reasons.
No, there's teams he doesn't watch for personal reasons. Right, yeah. Like anything that
Eagles, I think.
That Michael Vick's on. Vick, yeah. We don't. I don't even want that on my TV. It just poisons TV because he's such a vile. But he just finds other things to do. I guess. Yeah. He's more entertained by other things. We're wrapped up the news.
News is done. Okay. So we got. I saw some things. You saw some things.
That sounded very
super ominous. I saw some things. Been to the war and the shit you see, Heidi. No.
I know you've seen.
I saw a few things. I saw Birdbox on Netflix, and this movie is getting so much hatred.
Why?
I don't know why. I watched the movie.
Okay, Sandra Bullock's in it. I love her.
Sandra Bullock's really good in it.
She's amazing in everything she does.
John Malkovich is in it. He's so good in this movie. Right. He plays such a good asshole. And he's so good in this movie. And not to spoil anything, but the movie takes place in modern day times, and something is happening where there's like a monster or a spirit or something that when you see it, you see your worst fears or your visions of whatever, and it makes you kill yourself. Almost like The Happening, but better, because that was a bad movie.
Lou asked me if I saw The Happening, and I said no. I don't really watch.
Don't. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine with that.
That's what he said. Good for you.
I like Mark Wahlberg, but he was bad. He was terrible in this movie. It's one of the worst M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of like the most recent ones that are just bad.
Wait a minute, is it the end of it? Was he looking at trees?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
I didn't see that, but I saw the ending and I was like, this is not. I don't know what this is.
It's really bad. But this was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the concept of it. If you see it and there are, having to live in this world without having to see anything, it's kind of frightening having to travel, and throughout the movie it kind of there's jumps in time from present time to like a few months ago for Sandra Bullock, and so she's traveling. Where she's traveling you don't know in the beginning of the movie. You just know that she's traveling, and you assume she's going somewhere where there's promised safety.
Right, yeah.
But on her travels, she's blindfolded. Her and these two children are blindfolded, and it's like there are moments where it's like you're nerve-wracked. Like, oh my God, what the hell's gonna happen? Like, don't look. Don't take the blindfold off. What's happening?
But,
what are those sounds? Oh.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just curious to why people hate it.
I don't know why people hate it. That's the weird thing. Like,
but
watching
what are they
this
saying?
Just saying that, like, oh, it's not really scary. It's we've seen this movie before. It's like nothing that would justify this much hatred.
So,
like, like people hate this movie, and I don't know why.
I really think that people in society today that they're just pissed.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And they just want to be angry at everything all the time. There's no joy anymore. It's like sucked out of our lives.
Yeah.
What is it? It's like the those things from Harry Potter.
The Dementors?
The Dementors. It's like the Dementors.
They just suck the joy out of you.
They're like, we're invisible, and they're sucking the joy out of
Internet
humanity.
Trolls are Dementors. That's right. That's what they are. They like Spelliarmus. No, what is it? I forget what it's called. Expecto Patronum.
Yep.
Expecto Patronum. It's losing audience members as we speak.
They're like, they're talking Harry Potter
I don't know what the hell they're
spells.
saying.
What's happening?
Click this off. But yeah, because I saw them. It's not a perfect movie. It's not phenomenally good. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. But like there were moments where like the ending felt a little anticlimactic, and there were moments where it was like, okay, I can I kind of saw that coming. I figured that's what was going to happen. But I mean, how many movies do you see where you get that, but you still love the hell out of it?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You know how many times I've watched Guardians of the Galaxy and I cry every time that
the first one?
The second.
Oh, Yondu.
And I cry every time Yondu dies. Every single time.
Spoiler alert. Come on, honey.
Sorry. If you haven't already seen it, like seriously,
watch it. Come on, knock it off. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I know. But
watch that and then go watch Birdbox.
But every time I watch it, I cry.
Every time I watch, was it The Force Awakens, Star Wars Episode 7, when Han dies and Chewie is just like,
oh God, I can't even.
I can't hold it. I can't hold it together.
No, I can't.
It's not the Han dying. It's the Chewie going.
The grief.
It's the grief.
Yeah.
That's just like my friend.
I can't do it.
It's just like, oh God.
It's like
I tear up a little bit.
And we're back to Infinity War.
And then oh God, yeah.
I can't. I wanted to watch a couple scenes again to like the part you told me what Groot said and stuff like that. And I can't do it. I can't bring myself to watch it again.
Yeah, because the first Infinity War, it's on Netflix now. If you haven't seen it, watch that after you watch Bird Box. Bird Box is still a good watch. Watch Bird Box. Yeah. I recommend watching Bird Box. Don't expect awesome things, but expect an entertaining movie with Sandra Bullock and the guy I just mentioned, Malkovich. John Malkovich. Who doesn't like John Malkovich? He's fucking awesome.
They're both fantastic.
They're both fantastic actors. But yeah, watch it. It's a great movie. Well, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, not Guardians. Infinity War 1, the first one. It's on Netflix now. And if you haven't seen it, watch it.
And I'm sorry if you're not crying at the end of it. You have no soul.
It
destroyed me.
I'm sure Lou didn't cry at it. Well, I saw
Lou's a robot.
Me and him watched it in theaters, so I don't know. It was dark.
He could have cried. Yeah.
He could have cried. Yeah. But yeah, like from beginning to end, I'm like, this isn't a Marvel movie. Like this is like a DC movie. Everything's so gloomy and like
yeah.
But then this is what I love Marvel movies so much better than I love the DC movies, is that even though from beginning to end it was heart-wrenching, it was like, what's happening? Like there's no downtime.
No.
Everything's like boom boom, everything's firing at once. You're getting punched in the face
the entire time.
Throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
But there are still those moments where you kind of chuckle and you laugh, and it's you don't get that from DC movies.
No,
you only get that from the Marvel movies.
That's not true, though.
That's not anymore.
That's not true anymore.
Not anymore. I'm thinking Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
It's not a great movie.
Let the sound effect determine what he thinks about it.
I didn't like it. The only DC movie that I liked that I actually watched was, of the new DC movies besides Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, which I adore, the only movie that I even like out of these new ones is Wonder Woman.
Which was fantastic.
Which was a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it.
I loved
and that movie also had little bits of humor in it.
Yes. Yeah.
And they need to humanize these characters more. And Marvel gets that, and they do it, and they're so good with it.
DC's getting it though, because
I think DC's starting to learn their lesson because great transition. You watched Aquaman, and you enjoyed it,
which I heard today, by the way, has surpassed Guardians of the Galaxy #2, Volume 2, and Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok, and Thor Ragnarok was awesome. It was phenomenal. I love that movie. It's such a great movie.
Because I love Hulk though.
The Hulk was great. This is a good Hulk.
Fantastic. And him and Thor, oh my god.
They're a good combo. I like them.
But Aquaman was really fantastic. And it's kind of funny because the villain, which I'm going to hold off from giving away too much. The villain in the movie, I found myself first of all, he's an epic douchebag. So automatically you just want to not like him. But the reason he was doing things, I was like, oh, I kind of agree with him.
I love that because that's good writing.
Yeah,
that's a good like with Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
Was it
Killmonger?
I forget his name.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's his name. That he was such a good villain.
Yep.
And that I really liked Black Panther, but I think I would have loved it more if he was in it more, because you got a lot of Ulysses Claw, and he's a good villain, but he's very one-dimensional as a villain.
Yeah.
He just wants the metal so we can sell it. He's a good side villain.
Yeah.
He's a minor villain that the hero has to fight through in order to get to the main villain.
Yeah.
And the main villain is I believe his name is
Killmonger.
He it was such a well-written villain, and I'm rambling here, but for a villain to in his actions throughout the movie to change the thought process of the hero, that's a good villain.
Yeah.
Because for the hero to go, oh, maybe he wasn't fully wrong.
Yeah, but
he had his moments of that he's right, but he just wanted war. He was too extreme on it. And I think I can see where he's coming from, and I have to change my ideals on letting people in and showing people who we are. And that only came from fighting the villain.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten the character growth from T'Challa, Black Panther. You wouldn't have gotten any of that.
I don't know.
It was such.
He was. It's before he even met
Killmonger.
When he was being told the story, you could see a huge change in him in that room with all the flowers and everything. You could see a huge change in
he's questioning things.
Yeah. And I think he was just that kind of a king.
Yeah.
A person.
But I think when dealing with
Killmonger,
I think that's when he goes over the edge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I haven't seen, I know we're going off topic, but I haven't seen Aquaman.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining the same kind of dynamic happens.
I will say, I love Aquaman, but I love Jason Momoa. He's hilarious in that he's just this big, burly guy that you look at and you go, he looks mean, and then he smiles, and then you're just like, oh my god, he's a big teddy bear, but he's a badass.
Yeah.
So I loved the movie. First of all, I loved the movie. I loved almost all the characters.
Yeah.
I can't stand the character Mira, the actress. Well, I don't want to say I can't stand her. I don't know her personally, but the actress that played Mira, the girlfriend of Aquaman, was horrible.
Right.
Horrible, in my opinion. She was so cheesy. I just didn't believe her. She's freaking beautiful.
Oh yeah.
First of all, she's just
gorgeous.
beautiful.
But
And in the movie, they just made her just
even more so,
luminous, beautiful.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, she is a badass. But the scenes where she actually has to talk and they
Amber
are
Heard.
emotional and stuff like Amber Heard.
Amber Heard
right.
is the actress, yeah.
She just, I didn't care for her. And this part has nothing to do with her, but the suit that she was so hysterically ridiculous.
Yeah, DC has problems with their suits.
Remember when we were looking at the suit that the cosplay person did?
Yeah, we were looking at side by side images of like professional cosplayers, and
Who do
their suits were so much better than
and they would have totally worked in that world.
yeah, and they were a lot more comic representative.
Yes.
as well than because even in the images of the movie that I've seen clips
It was
and
very
images,
Christmassy, Christmas
too-
tree green,
it's
and like sequiny looking.
it's too bland.
And
There wasn't enough it was just a green leotard with some tiny accents. Even there were other images where those tiny accents were bigger.
Yeah.
And they went out throughout the outfit. I think that would have looked way better.
And also,
But-
if her outfit was a little bit more battle gear, like the cosplay, it had a little bit more armor looking to it.
right, yeah.
And
That's right. There was like some shoulder armor.
And that would
like,
have fit into the world that Mira was a part of.
Yeah.
More than her Christmas tree outfit.
It was just she just looked
It
very
was
bland.
horrible. I thought that was so distracting, and Amber Heard's acting was, in my opinion, was awful.
Yeah.
But everybody else was so good, and the story was good. And again, the villain in this,
Kinda
at
feel
least
bad for
me being very green and very, wanting to protect the oceans and the creatures in the ocean,
Yeah.
especially that part of me. I've understood what he
Was fighting for.
was fighting for.
And that's just good writing. That's a good villain, and I think DC is starting to kind of get into their own with these types of movies now, because like with Wonder Woman, they focused more on not even just her. Like they focused a lot on her and her character development, but there were also so many interesting people around her that needed to deal with the fact that she's a goddess and that she's this formidable warrior on the battlefield.
Full circle.
No, but yeah, like that movie was so good. There was so much emotion and heart in it, and it was just so good.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what DC should be doing. They're too gloomy and dark and brooding. I hate my dad. It's like, what are you doing?
I hate my dad.
I hate my dad. Except for Batman, because his dad's dead.
Oh.
And Superman as well, because his planet's dead.
They're like Disney. They kill off all the parents.
Goddamn DC kills off. And Marvel. God.
Oh my gosh.
Uncle Ben. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, this is a weird spot to mention this, but speaking of loss, DC did something very beautiful in the newest issues of their comic books. They put in a memorial to Stan Lee.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, I was gonna go to the comic book store and pick one up, but I completely forgot to. But yeah, this last week.
That's really nice.
Like one of the most recent ones, they released I think in all of their comics they had a memorial of I think his picture and the date he died.
That's really nice.
And I was like, oh, DC did that. Marvel did it as well, but
you expect Marvel to do it.
I expect if Marvel didn't do it, I'd be like, what the fuck, Marvel?
Where's your soul?
Aren't you doing this? But for DC, a rival to Marvel do it is. I mean, they weren't like we hate Marvel.
Yeah.
There was because and so many interviews whenever the interviewer mentioned something to Stan Lee about DC, Stan Lee never hesitated to shit on a DC character.
Yeah.
But it was like, it's Stan Lee. You can't be like, wow, what a jerk. It was so like, what a funny old man.
Yeah, I know.
It's so comical when it's just like he's crapping on Superman and how just like stupid his powers are. It's just like, yeah, no, I agree. You're right, Stan. But they had this friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
So it means so much to comic book fans and so many people that DC, technically a rival to Marvel, was like, we also appreciate what he brought to the world.
I think that
it was so nice.
He's such an icon that you just.
When I heard that, I was like, oh, that's super awesome.
Yeah, that's
so nice.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's really nice. And then I immediately thought like, wow, fuck you, Bill Maher.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I was like, why do I go there? Just read something really nice, and now I have to be mad about it. So stupid.
I know, but you reflect on people's just ignorance about things. Like, they shouldn't... I get people are entitled to their opinions, but at least form one out of some kind of knowledge of something and not just pulling something out of your ass because you're a crabby old man. You know what I mean?
But those. So watch Birdbox because it's a good watch. Just watch.
Yeah, don't let the haters detour you.
And go out and see Aquaman.
Yeah, watch Aquaman, even if you're a Marvel fan.
I'm a Marvel fan.
I'm a Marvel fan.
And here's the thing. I think like it's Aquaman. Family Guy even shits on Aquaman, and it's like
I know
because he's such a joke character. Yeah. I mean, he's a legitimate character. He's part of the Justice League. He's a legitimate character, but it's just like he talks to fish, and that's all he does. And it's so
if anybody can make him cool,
if anybody can make him cool, it's Khal Drogo.
Yeah, I know, right?
From the Dothraki horde, he's gonna, and it's like, oh, they're making their not cool characters cool.
Yeah,
like if anybody's gonna make Aquaman cool, Jason Momoa's gonna do it.
Yeah,
because that guy just exudes cool. Of course there is.
The Black Mantis.
Black Manta.
Manta.
Yeah, because he's in the trailers, and there's a lot of images of.
It's funny because
Manta.
I don't know if this is a spoiler, but you only see him at the beginning, and you don't know that's him. You learn later that's going to become him, but he's really kind of a bookend kind of character.
Oh, right.
You see him develop.
Yeah. So they're saving him for 2.
Yes.
Which is I think is a good plan, because sometimes they put too many villains in one movie, and then it's like you get a Spider-Man 3 situation where there's just too many villains and none of them are well written, and it's just. You get a weird dance sequence. And you know how I feel about weird dance sequences. It's just awkward to watch, and it's
I think the way they did it was really cool because like I said, you see him at the beginning, you understand why he becomes what he becomes.
That's cool.
And then you really don't see little snippets of him kind of working with the other guy,
the main villain.
Yeah, but you don't really. He's very on the outside. Then you see him in a short battle, and then he goes off.
So he's almost like he's pretty much Boba Fett in this movie.
Yeah.
You see him in little bits. You get kind of hints of how important he is of a character and how kind of fierce he is and how important he really is to the universe. But he doesn't do much.
No. And then when he goes off, which it's a battle, so he gets kind of thrown and Aquaman assumes he's done work.
So Boba Fett again.
Yeah. And at the end, you see somebody on a boat pick him up. He's floating on something.
Yeah, that didn't happen to Boba Fett.
No. And
Boba Fett crawled himself out of that Sarlacc pit because he's a badass.
And then
he survived. That's canon.
And then you see him talking to this other guy about how they're going to make the suit
better.
So
cool.
You see it, but you see it on sort of the outside of the story,
right?
Which is nice because then there's not all these different villains. But when the second one comes out, which I'm sure there will be because it's already over on the box office.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're definitely going to make a second one.
And so when the second one happens, everybody who's seen the first one, like, oh, that's that guy. Oh, our was backstory, and they can go right into whatever's going to happen.
Also, speaking of which, they Netflix released the trailer for Punisher Season 2, and it comes out in January.
Is the guy who's playing... Need to know his name. I'm going to look it up right now.
Who plays Frank Castle? Plays Shane from The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is there. But yeah, he... It's him, and the villain is going to be Jigsaw, which is pretty much...
John Bernthal. He's fantastic. He's a big pit bull fan, not of the singer, of the actual dog breed.
Oh, that's a shame.
And
that he's not a fan of the pit bull, the singer.
Jeez. He may like him, I don't know, but he's got pit bulls, which I love because he did like a pit bull PSA kind of thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. The Punisher did a
right.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's
a sweet man.
He's such a nice guy. It's so weird, like, and you see him in these shows, and it's like, oh, what a...
Like when he was Shane.
God, when he was Shane. It was like, when is he going to die?
Yeah.
And then he's dead. It's like, great. Thank you. Jesus, finally, get him out of here. And then it's like, oh, he's the Punisher? Awesome.
Yeah, because he's so good.
Now he's going to be like an anti-hero kind of guy. So the season 2 is coming out in January, this month.
Oh, really?
So I'm super excited. They have a little trailer online Netflix has released, and I can't wait. It's going to be so awesome. And because the last season was okay. It wasn't a great season because I think coming off of Daredevil season 2, we wanted more of the Punisher being Punisher and killing people and being the Punisher.
Right.
And season 1 of the Punisher, we didn't get that. We got a weird kind of Frank Castle trying to lay low and do espionage. And it was like, this is weird. I don't like this. I don't like how slow this is going. And I mean,
were they character built?
I think they were. I think that's what it was, which is why I don't hate the season.
Mm-hmm.
I just, coming off of Daredevil season 2, you see this menacing guy who just shoots without thinking because, if you're a bad guy and you did bad things, I'm going to kill you. That's it. I am the Punisher. So to see him more kind of relaxed and nice to people, it's weird.
Yeah.
So season 2, I think it looks like they're going to bring it back to the Punisher and it being just brutal, awesome violence. Very gratuitous violence, heads being blown off by shotguns at point blank range going, ew! It's gonna be so great.
Oh, well, all right. Well, again, if you want to listen to more of our podcasts, our episodes, you can find us on www.geek-lish.com. That's our website. You can find us on Facebook at geek-lish.com and our
Twitter.
I'm trying to think. Is at geek_lish.com.
No doubt.
All right, that's all for this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.